This is the third of 4 videos produced by Envisioning History to train students in the use of the Envisioning History-Palantir Platform. The first 3 videos focus on specific Palantir tools useful to historians: the graph, map, and object explorer. The fourth video focuses on analysis, in other words, how to integrate the use of the 4 palettes to ask the right questions of the data. The basic questions are always who, what, when, where, and why, and we deal with those throughout the training videos. This lesson focuses on the use of the Object Explorer and its cousin, the histogram helper. And since you need to understand what the ontology is, we will touch on that as well. Object Explorer is the palette that lets you see data in summarized statistical form and allows you to group data to obtain answers to questions. To ask the right questions of the data, Object Explorer is a good place to start. Begin by ensuring the Object Explorer application is displayed in your Investigations toolbar. If not, go to Applications and click to Add. The first time you open Object Explorer, you'll see a button saying Explore All Objects. Click on that, and on the right-hand panel, a long list appears, each with a number and bar graph. You'll see the total number of objects in the database at the very top. Remember that we're adding to the database constantly, so this number will increase almost every time you log in. If it doesn't, be sure and click on the Update button on the toolbar and accept any changes. The individual line descriptions you see listed are called the ontology. These are the categories we assign the various objects to. You'll recall that objects can be events, entities, documents, and multimedia. Also recall that all objects have properties. Object Explorer lets you find data from this categorized point of view, and then easily move the data groupings you're interested in to between the map, graph, or browser views. We'll stay with our Battle of Midway story and look first at aircraft carriers. 3 types of carriers are listed in the ontology: escort carriers, fleet carriers, and light carriers. By holding down the Control key when you left-click on each type, you can select them all, but let's focus now just on the largest, the fleet carriers. By right-clicking on the fleet carriers, the dialog box shows that we can add them to the map, graph, or browser. At the top of the dialog box is another option, to drill down on objects of this type. Left-clicking on that option makes a new histogram appear on the right showing all fleet carrier properties, and a new box appears in the formula bar on the top line. On the left is All Objects, and next to that you now see Of Type Fleet Carrier. Next, let's separate out just the US carriers. To do that, click on the Nationality property and the dialog box reappears. This time, choose Histogram this property. What this does is to break the fleet carriers down by nationality. Go to the histogram and left-click to select United States. Then right-click to again drill down on objects of this type. On the right-hand histogram, you see that now only the 33 US fleet carriers are showing, along with all of their properties. In the formula bar at the top, there is a new box showing that this selection is of objects of type fleet carrier with nationality United States. In the large dark gray area to the left are 6 visualization options. Select the timeline option, and now you see a bar chart showing the time distribution of properties of the carriers. A small helper panel on the left allows you to select or deselect the properties visible on the timeline. Deselect all but the date commissioned property, and you see the dates each of the 33 US fleet carriers were placed into service. You can expand the timeline for higher resolution, just like you do with the timeline on the map. Now go back a step by clicking on Nationality United States in the formula bar at the top. The various visualization options reappear. Next, choose the pie chart to see a graph showing the relative percentage of carrier types. Go back again and click on Property Value Histogram. Select a property. In this case, we'll choose the displacement, or weight of the carriers, and we see in the diagram what the distribution of overall sizes of the carriers are. Finally, let's clear the formula bar to go back to the beginning. In the far top right is a button for New Formula. Click on it and a dialog box appears to Start New Analysis, with a button to explore all objects. Click there and you return to the main page for the Object Explorer. The sequence we just went through is only one possibility of the many types of questions you can ask of the data and the analysis you can perform. The point to take from this is that the Object Explorer has many options. Spend some time exploring the data to see what you can learn about how to use the tool. We can perform similar analyses with events. Now we'll find all the Battle of Midway events. You already found them in an earlier exercise by doing a search around on the umbrella event for the Battle of Midway. This time, we'll get the same data a different way. In the Object Explorer, under All Objects, scroll down to the Battle property for events. Right-click on this and the dialog box appears. Choose Histogram this property. Let's pause a minute and talk about terminology. A histogram is a graphical representation of the distribution of data. You've seen histograms many times now, so you already understand what it means. In this case, the Palantir software makes it a verb and gives you the option to select a property, and the software will histogram it for you from the entire database. The histogram of all the battles shows 100 events for Midway. Left-click to select that line and right-click on it to show more options. This time, let's add the events to the map. This type of action, and particularly using the flexibility you have by left-clicking and right-clicking on data, should become second nature to you. We'll do one more example, and then you can explore the data on your own. There are 3 properties that Envisioning History uses extensively for events in military history. Those are campaigns, battles, and keywords. You just saw the battles. Now go to the right-hand histogram and left-click on campaigns. Then right-click to histogram the property. To look at something different, select the Eastern Front campaign by left-clicking, then right-click to add its events to the map. Now you're ready to do this on your own. Go back to Explore All Objects in the Object Explorer and see what you can learn. The 4th video of the series takes what you've learned in the first 3 and uses them to tell a complete story. After watching it, you should be able to replicate the same story or tell it in different ways. You can also create stories of your own. An advanced series of training videos will be forthcoming showing how to create your own new material for projects and papers, as well as how to export data to interactive Google Earth or HTML files for your digital project.